Hey, this is Sunshine.
And this is Z. We got a little review for you today.
But before we get into it, here's a little clip.
You feel that? That's your family. That's your blood. Sometimes you be in trouble. They might be around to help you. Tell your mama to tell you about that piano. Ask her how them pictures got on there.
All right, that was a clip of the piano lesson. It's really funny about the title, but we'll get into the review in a minute. But go ahead, Sunshine.
Yeah, is this a stage? This is a Broadway?
Yeah, it was
stem from a Broadway.
Right.
Okay, this one stemming 2024 is a musical drama. And I say musical because of the club scene, I guess, if you've all seen it.
Well, the club scene, then they did a couple songs in the house.
Okay.
They sung, and then she did this crazy thing on the piano.
Well,
that was a little weird, but
the actors in it is John David Washington, which is one of the sons of Denzel Washington, and producer also was his other son of this movie.
Right. I just kind of found out as we was going. I didn't know that, but go ahead.
Danielle Deadwyler, she is an excellent actress. I'm telling you, I've seen her in other things. She was on Have and Have Nots.
And she's which one did she play?
She was the main
lady in the okay.
Yeah, you have Ray Fisher.
Okay.
Olivia Washington, not really but Corey Hawkins. We all know who Corey Hawkins is.
Okay, who I don't know.
He was in
I just know him probably by his face.
Yeah, he's he played Dr. Dre. And,
Dr. Dre. Okay. Yeah. He looked a little different, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, of course you have Samuel Jackson.
Right. Yeah.
But I was getting to its drama musical because Erykah Badu, which I did not. I looked at her face and I did not know.
I didn't know until I looked at I'm be honest. Until I looked at who the cast was, I had no clue. I was like, it's not. No, I shouldn't say I had no clue. I knew she looked familiar. But I was putting her, for some reason, I said, I know that's not her, but she put me in mind of Eartha Kitt a little bit. But I said, no, I know, because she's way too old to be in that movie. She's probably not living anymore. I'm not sure.
Who, Eartha Kitt?
Eartha Kitt, she's
passed.
Yeah. So I was like, I know it wasn't her. Even if she was living, I knew it because she'd been too old. But I knew the face looked familiar, and I'm just going through, and I could not figure it out until I looked in the, under the credits or looked into the breakdown of the cast, and that's when I knew. Yeah,
Eartha Kitt is a little darker than Erykah Badu.
Oh yeah, maybe not as much, really.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah.
I don't know. I just keep thinking about her in Boomerang, and didn't seem that dark.
I didn't say she was dark. I said Erykah is
okay.
Eartha, I think, is a little slightly darker.
Maybe what I'll do is I'll put a side by side up here in the middle.
Yeah, you do
that. But I don't know. But no. But then sometimes with the lights, you never know. So I don't want to do that. And it really is not that big of a difference, or it is a big difference, but because of lighting. So maybe you do, maybe we don't. I don't know. But that's the last of the cast, or somebody else you want to mention?
No, that's pretty much. You got Michael Potts. He looked familiar, but
he played in a lot of movies. And I did a little research with just looking around, and the one you're talking, I guess that's the one that was coming over was drunk. Is that the one? Now, when him, and there's a few other people in there that I noticed they do a lot of movies together. I was noticing because I think he was, because I think it might have been him. I might have been in the Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. And I was looking at some of the people and that kind of links with Denzel. I see a lot of actors kind of doing that same thing. So, but to be honest with you, when I watched these, character-wise, the only person I knew right off the bat was Samuel. Samuel Jackson, I knew right off the bat.
Well, I knew Danielle because I knew her.
But I'm still not really familiar with her work because the things that she played in, that you mentioned, I really didn't watch. But the guy that played the pastor or the preacher, I was like, man, the guy look, and I looked at the eyes, I said, man, he got them eyes like the guy that played Dr. Dre in Straight Outta Compton. But he looked a little thicker and fuller or whatever, but then I went and looked, yep, that was him. And even John David Washington was son of, I watched a few of his movies, and I still was like, man, this guy he looks from something about him. And I actually had to look up, yep, that's him. And that's weird that there's like 3 characters in there. I was like, didn't really know it until I looked him up. And that was good. But he played a decent part. But as an actor,
that was a different part for me, for him.
But see, are you compared to like the action ones he does? Because I don't think he does as good in action, to me, as he does in the more serious roles. Where he plays, he's not the action guy. The action guy, he does okay. But I just think I'm really more impressed with what he does when it's a serious role. Because he played that one role, I don't even remember the name of the movie, where he had a girlfriend. And they were going somewhere, it was another country. He fell asleep. And the car went through this house and it killed her. And they were trying to catch up and find him and everything. So that wasn't really an action movie. That's why I liked him, because he did a lot more drama. But some of the action ones he did, I'm like, it's okay. It's okay, but I just like him better in the more serious roles. But this movie here kind of put me in the mind a little bit, in parts of it, kind of put me in the mind of Sinners a little bit. Had that vibe to it, that little weird, what's going on here? What's that? There's a scene upstairs in the hallway. It's like, what's going on here? What is this? It is weird, because there was that scene in the hallway, several scenes that hallway, and as you watch it, you'll maybe see what I'm talking about. Then there's a part at the end when she's actually on the piano playing. There's some Sinner vibes to that movie to me for some reason. It just, but I don't know what you thought about that.
It's just a little spiritual stuff that, I don't know if you would consider it, not really voodoo type, but more of, that's, those spirit vibes.
Right.
That, and maybe back in the day, it was really, really a lot stronger in some countries.
Probably so, yeah.
And some people still kind of feel that way, that spirits are still amongst us. And, not to say that they're not, I don't know. In some instances, but this was a really strong one where they were physically, spirits different if they exist, but these spirits were having hands-on,
right,
which is a little different,
Right. Now, when I look at this movie, you tell me what you thought. The guy that came to the house with Denzel Washington's son, I forgot his name in the movie offhand, but did he seem like he was off, like maybe on the spectrum type deal?
Yeah, special?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that's one thing. But outside of that, because he was on the spectrum, that's something different. But there's a scene in there, and if you have seen the movie, if you're going to see the movie, there's a scene where one of them was standing up. It might have been him, but on the wall was a calendar. And I think it said 1920 something. And 1920, 1930, somewhere was back, but it showed the date on that calendar. And what was different was it was a black cast, and nobody, I'm saying, taking aside the guy that maybe seems autistic or something, everybody in there played a strong character. They weren't like, I'm scared of the white man type thing. It wasn't like the huffling, shuffling around, dancing and singing type. They were strong characters in this movie when you think about it. From the woman, the preacher was a preacher, but he still had a strong. Everybody's strong except for that one guy. I don't know if you noticed that. And the other thing is, when I was doing a little research.
But if you remember, he said he's wanted. He can't go back to where they came from. He's wanted. So he had to kind of tap a little lightly wherever he was, because he's wanted. They were looking for him.
Who you saying?
You're talking about the young guy, right? The one that you thought maybe special.
Yeah, okay. No, I'm just saying, I'm putting him aside because I can understand why, if I made that comment that they all were strong, you could look at him and say, hey, he's kind of weak. Only because I think he had an issue going on. He was on the spectrum. But everybody else, from Samuel, everybody in there, they were strong people. And if anybody's watched the movie, please tell me who was Samuel L. Jackson in the movie.
Yes. What role did he play? Because first I thought it was the husband. Then I thought he was the brother. But I was like, he can't be the brother because then he will be related to the...
and he probably could have been the brother. But I was like, if he was, they would have made more of a issue about that.
It couldn't have been, because when the brother, Denzel's son, said, if anybody has ownership, it's only me and her.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, yeah, right.
You know, if he could have been like maybe an uncle or something, and they may have said it and we just missed it. And they never went back to it. Well. Because he's always at the house.
So, he lives there. That's his house.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. So I'm just saying.
Well, I guess.
No, they were saying that was where the girl grew up, because they had the piano the whole time. Mm-hmm. So if he lived there, he had to be some kind of relative or something. So we may have just missed it. Now I bring that up for some reason to say, especially with the guy that seemed autistic. When I was doing a little research, I noticed that if anybody's seen the sitcom Rock, I think it was just Rock, not The Rock. You remember that cast from The Rock? They did the on stage. I don't know if they were the only one. They did the on stage the piano lesson, and I watched it where they had they was all character, but the one that we say was kind of autistic. The person that played him was Rock's brother, the one that played some of CSIs or whatever. Mm-hmm. But he wasn't acting that way during the stage performance. So I don't know if that's a little tweak they did to it, or that actor just was that way. But to me, they were kind of showing that he was a little slow or something. But he didn't seem that way when I watched I watched like a 4-minute clip of the on stage, or them doing it on stage, or in that Rock cast doing it. And Rock's wife, of course, she played the lady in the movie, and the father played Samuel L. Jackson's part. That's the part he had. Mm-hmm. And the script was the same too. It's a word verbatim. The little clip I seen though. So, but if anybody see it, I guess that's my biggest question. Who was Samuel L. Jackson in this movie? How was his relationship?
Was his character?
Yeah. How did he fit in there? The other guy came and went, the drunk guy, but you could tell that they were all close, but you could see he didn't really live there or whatever. But But that's the piano. The piano lesson, and I guess they have to give it that title because that was the title. The play was that title. So, but a lot of characters and a lot of stars in there that I finally ended up figuring out that's who they were. But other than that, it was a good movie. I would suggest watching the movie. It was just under 2 hours, I believe, and or right at 2 hours. So, but it stayed busy, and I give them a lot of credit because there's a lot of dialogue, because there was really, that house was the main scene throughout the movie. There's a bit of beginning part when the brother and his buddy came to the house before that, but other than that, there was some flashes, I think, of other stuff that went on, but pretty much everything happened in the house. And I got to be impressed with somebody that can hold your attention, and there's just one scene, that you're watching, one location. So, but y'all let us know what you think about it. We're going to get out of here but before we do, please do me a favor. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Also share, comment below, and I do believe that's it.
That's it. Thanks for listening.
To Sunshine and E.